Thank you, Madam Speaker. For a number of months now, I've come to this floor to tell the stories of men and women in the military who have been raped by other soldiers. As heinous as those assaults are, the greatest injustice is suffered after the assault, when victims are doubted, debased, disrespected, and discharged from the military that they have so proudly enlisted in. Last night, I had a long conversation with an Army and Navy veteran, Terri Odom, who told me she dreamed to serve in the was a little girl. She was so determined that between her junior and senior summer, she went to boot camp, not to some playground area somewhere in her community, but to boot camp. After high school, she went to Sicily with the Seabees. She told me that she had never been happier, serving her country, seeing the world, even swimming in the Mediterranean. It was like Terri was living a military recruiting commercial. While there, she was befriended by an NCO, 25 years her senior. He was a father figure to Terri, and she trusted him explicitly. When he volunteered to walk her home one night, Terri accepted the offer without hesitation. She told me that when he first grabbed her, she was more confused than scared. This was a young woman who was very proud of her service and had the utmost respect for her colleague, particularly one who had such a distinguished career. This couldn't possibly be happening. Terri's story is graphic. I only tell you the details so you can understand how horrific the response has been from our military. Terri was raped repeatedly. Her abuser used pipes and other objects he found in her bathroom that was being remodeled. He cut her arms and vagina, then poured paint thinner into her wounds. He punched her with the full force of his 6'4", 270-pound frame. Terri, it should be noted, is 5'3". She fought back, even did some damage, but she was outmatched. She woke up in the bathtub covered in blood. She was missing teeth and fingernails, yet her first thought was that she couldn't be late for duty. She also knew that she could get medical attention and file a criminal complaint at the base. Surely the Navy would take care of her. Turns out she was wrong about that, as she was a rapist. Terri cleaned herself up, showered, and showed up for duty. Reported the rape to her chain of command. She requested medical attention, but was told instead to take an aspirin and sleep it off. No one in Terri's chain of command allowed her to get medical attention. Instead, they told her to drop the rape story or her career would be over. Despite valiant efforts to stop it, Terri was eventually honorably discharged against her will, which is exactly what happens to 90% of military personnel who report rapes. The Navy lost a good soldier that day. The Navy also kept a rapist. Not officially, of course, because there was never an investigation. The reason? Because in the military, the authority to request one lies with the chain of command. But the chain of command is incentivized not to, because they are judged on how few instances of rape and other mishaps occur during their command. This is as true today as it was when Terri served. That is why Terri Odom has once again answered the call to service. She is here with me this morning to make sure her story is heard. This nation must aggressively pursue rape charges in our military. Sexual assault cases must be taken out of the chain of command and must never be punished by non-judicial remedies like a mere demotion in rank. Finally, a uniform is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. Military sex offenders must be entered into the same national database as those in the civilian world. 2 decades ago, a young woman served proudly in the United States Navy and knew she was making the world a better place. Then a criminal and a criminally negligent system conspired to take it all away from her. But that young woman is back, and she is not alone. Women from every branch of the military are speaking up. This is a problem we can fix. We only have to want to. I yield back.
The gentlewoman